But that question's of how the hell do we do that?
Well, I reckon if you... I see a ledge.
But there's no wind things to get there. Can I get in from here?
Maybe.
Hey.
There you go.
When in doubt, cheese it. Whee! Why am I accurate when it doesn't matter? Seriously.
You'd never be able to do that again. Not in a million years.
Give it a few minutes, I might have to.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Or seconds, whichever happens first.
Yeah.
But that seems to work. Just cheese it.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
So about there-ish? Help me, my gun only shoots 10 feet. Now, can you beat my down the middle?
Yes, I can.
Because they don't detonate it, so I wasn't being accidentally awesome.
Do we still have any rocks? No.
No, I think they're only for each area you're in.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think, could I have blown those up? But I think, if I just time it right...
Charge, charge!
Oh wow, that's a lot of sligs.
That is. So it looks like they're... Well, we may not have to, but I think in this it might be best practice if we just...
You just take it a little bit easy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they don't detonate
they don't blow them up.
What a rip!
Yeah, but I suppose it's also it's part of the trap, isn't it? Like if
if
they make it too easy, then
I pressed the sodding button.
Right. I remember it always used to be kind of amusing that you could if you had a slig possessed, you could always shoot Abe still.
You could kill yourself, literally.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
Oh dear. Right. Although thinking about other games that are hard that we've also were talking about the last time we were playing this, got back into Dark Souls in a big way.
Which one?
The original? Well, the first one. No.
Yeah,
Dark Souls. Because I did.
Oh, fucking ass.
Plonker. I did Demon Souls because it came out. It was like a Christmas deal on the PlayStation Network, and I got it for like £1, and I was like, yeah, absolutely no problem. So people tell me it's got like 100 hours worth of game, which for £1 is well worth it. And the Demon Souls is a very different game. Like it's kind of like Dark Souls is a big open world, whereas pissing ships.
I don't think there's a game called that.
Whereas Demon Souls is you have a hub, which is kind of like the afterlife, and you have 5 levels that you can go to. And within each one, there is a kind of very large world amongst it, but it's 5 very particular, distinct levels.
Those mines home.
Yes, they chase you.
So the only thing I can think of is when that slig on the thin platform is alerted, we jump again to avoid the shots. That's the only thing I can think of.
Possibly. I'm going to try a slightly different tactic.
That's the thing, because if you actually go, because it's from software.
He says.
Yeah, because it's from software that made the Dark Souls series and Demon Souls as well.
Yes.
Oh, can you possess them there?
That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Ah, because if you actually go back to those, they actually made a few games on the PS1 which were like very, very basic prototypes for the Dark Souls formula, so to speak. Like they did the some of the King's Field games, and there was one called either Dark Labyrinth or Dark Tower or something along those lines. So just jump, 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 jump again. Never mind, just go. Peg it. Do not fuck up. You are not allowed to do the fucking of up. Oh, Jesus. Oh! I bet you anything...
Enjoy.
No.
But yeah, anyway, Demon's Souls is very, very good. I got the Platinum Achievement for it and enjoyed it a great deal.
Trophy whore.
But there were things in Demon's Souls that I hated. You had a soul, which is not a mechanic in Dark Souls 1. It might have reappeared, and I really hope it fucking hasn't. Okay, so what you need to do is land on the other side of that slig, so that he wakes up and turns around.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so you had a soul, and depending on what you... Oh, tits and Christ. And depending on what you did in the game, depending on whether you had a white or a dark soul. And if you had a white soul, then you had access to particular areas. If you had a black soul, you had access to particular areas. You know, certain characters would appear if you had a white soul or a dark soul, what have you. And the world also had
an early
its own
sort of moral alignment thing.
Kind of, yeah. But the world also had the soul mechanic as well. So if you did a bad thing in a particular world,
it got darker.
It got, you know, the world got its own darkness. But the problem was that certain things required you to have certain amounts of goodness in the world, and once it was black, you couldn't turn it back to being white again.
Well, once you get black, you don't get back. Everyone knows that.
Yes, I suppose. You know, once you had an evil world, your world was done for good, and it meant that if you wanted to just pick up, you know, there was an achievement for get all of the rings and get all of the swords and get all the shields and what have you, and I can remember vividly that one particular world, one particular ring, you could only do if you could only get it if a world was 100% pure white. But then it was a sword in the same world that you could only get if the world was 100% pure dark. So it meant you have to do an entire playthrough to pick up one ring or one sword, and it was a fucking ball ache. And you know, there were just other things that I liked a great deal. But they were...
I don't know what I'm doing wrong there.
No, neither do I, mate. We'll see. But yeah, there were things that I loved about the game, and things that I absolutely hated. And the cool thing is that Dark Souls seems to have fixed a lot of those issues. You know, it's a big open world. I mean, it's not a true open world. It's like a sandbox, like an Assassin's Creed game. It's more like a... How did they describe it? It's more like a seamless world where...
The levels themselves didn't have...
Oh, pissing Christ.
The levels themselves didn't... They had, like, distinctive breaks because you went to the areas and they came up. But you could go to them. It was like going with Dark Souls, the classic one is like you get to the very first... You get out the tutorial level and you can immediately walk to the left and find the... You know, the graveyard with the skeletons that are like mid-game enemies. And you die. Horribly.
I mean, you can walk through it. Like, if you can, like, just kite the enemies, you can go anywhere. I mean, there is a particular path that you ought to take.
Fuck.
You know, there is a path that you ought to take, but you could go anywhere. You know, if you're highly level, like on New Game Plus, for example, you could go anywhere. And I really like that. Just the whole game is just awesome. It's fucking nails. Like, I'm not going to say that because I played Demon's Souls I have any kind of an advantage. I mean, I know it means I know how particular weapon types. It means I like how particular weapons work, but that's literally, you know, that is my sole advantage. You know, it means, you know, I like single-handed swords, and I like great swords, and I don't like anything else. You know, halberds are great if you're new, because they let you hide behind a shield, but, or like spears are the same. But yeah, I mean, ultra great swords look really cool, but they're fucking useless. You need to be quick, mate. You need to be able to roll and dodge out of the way.
Well, that's
but
the thing.
At time of recording, For all of you listening in the comments who actually know what this is,
fuck that guy.
I am 2 Great Souls down. I have just defeated...
the butterfly?
Sorry?
Is it the butterfly that's the second one? I can't remember.
No. There's the 4 Great Souls.
Oh, sorry.
The four like sort of big bosses of the game before you fight Lord Gwyn.
Yeah.
And as a man that lived in Wales for a while, Lord Gwyn really holds a lot less of a terrifying name, because there was a guy that used to come to old gigs of mine who was called Gwyn, and he kind of looked like a sort of cross between Bill Bailey and Wurzel Gummidge.
Well, strictly speaking, the game's Lord Gwyn sort of looks like that, but if he then listened to heavy metal for 70 years and became an undead arsehole.
Well, yeah, quite. But anyway, there's four sort of Great Souls. There's the there's Gravelord Nito, the Four Kings, Seath the Scaleless, and
the Bed of Chaos.
The Bed of Chaos, that's the one. And I've done the Four Kings, because the Four Kings is a fucking cakewalk, and I've just done Seath the Scaleless. So I'm making my way to Gravelord Nito now, and I am not looking forward to it, because I hated... Fuck yes, go, man!
Shut up, we are trying to get past this is going to be like...
Come on. Oh!
What happened?
Oh dear.
But that did do that, because what happened when the sort of frame rate died a bit, it was that as soon as I hit the jump after him, I jumped again.
Yeah.
I think that's what we might have to do.
Maybe. Let's give it a try.
Freaking low on health.
Let's give it a try. But yeah, so I'm just on my way through, making my way through the graveyard now to hit Gravelord Nito, or Bed of Chaos. I don't know. I'm gonna have a bit of a look on the old wiki and see which is the easier of the two.
Well, because if I remember rightly, because I only ever completed it once, and jump again, jump. Ooh. Yeah, just go.
I'm going.
Yes!
Yes! Fuck
nice
you!
One.
Fuck you!
The silence of extreme concentration.
That's it. What have we got here?
No, because if I remember rightly...
Run. Elam. Oh, it's another one of these.
Run.
Right. Let's just go. Come on. See if we can one-shot this. Let's go.
Schnell.
Okay.
Actually, speaking of Dark Souls, that's exactly like those helpful hints that say, jump here for a secret item.
Yes.
And you just die.
Yep, that's it.
Right, what's down here?
Oh, yeah, pull that and then move, like, real quick.
Oh, I see. Hey, thank freaking crap. What the hell happened Dave there? Yeah, because if I'm trying to get this out, because if I remember rightly, the Bed of Chaos is like a platforming level more than anything else, and just to end it and swap over.
Purposes, it's a big tree.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because obviously like the lore of Dark Souls is like one of the big attractions to it, but like the Bed of Chaos is especially fucking metal. Did not mean to do that.
Bless.
Shit.
But yeah, so either way, I'm going to have a look on the old wiki. Because I got really, really lucky on this particular playthrough, because one of the Black Knights dropped a sword.
Oh, you lucky son.
And I am completely 100% like, I totally understand how lucky that is.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of those less than 1% like almost MMO bullshit drops.
It's a rare. I know it's a rare drop for them, because I also happened to get really lucky and got the. I also got the Black Knight halberd as well. So if I did use halberds, then
yeah,
then I would actually be in. I'd be in luck. But yeah, I was quite lucky in that I got that, and I also. Got quite lucky and I was able to hit a bunch of fuck's sake.
You are just doing that now on purpose.
But yeah, I got quite lucky in that I was able to pick up a bunch of
oh shit. I was trying to read the freaking lights.
But
Stand slightly to the left and you can probably get one of them. No, not there, left a bit more. No, no, no. As soon as you do the jump, they wake. Like so.
You were right. But yeah, so I was fucking so lucky with that, and I've been able to get quite lucky with the wait.
Hey. Oh, my one died. Oh well, just time to get that guy then. I guess.
I don't think you're gonna get him, mate. However, I reckon if you can get into that well, it might provide you with a decent way of getting him.
Come on! Pressing the fucking button! Arsehole.
But,
no, you're too cool.
Tits. But yeah, so I was able to upgrade it quite quickly because I managed to get a bunch of the upgrading ore. I think it's Twinkling Titanite you need for Dark Knight weapons. And yeah, I got quite lucky with there's a bunch of crystal lizards that drop them, and yeah, I was quite happy. But yeah, fucking loving every minute of it. It's I'm now one of those awful. I'm now one of those awful people that fucking loves Dark Souls and can't stop talking about it. Well, I mean, I liked it before, but I've now become one of those awful people who just doesn't stop talking about it. Well, that didn't work.
I think that's what's known as a dick move.
I suppose if I looked, I can see that there's no. I can see that there's no.
Fuck it, just try it on Elam. Just see how we can, see how far we can get, because this is seeming to work. I'm presuming he just had a very funny dream, because how the fuck else could he know what the hell just happened?
But, now sneak past.
So we know that that well is officially a dick move.
Okay, so it's
Hello. Hey there. Listen up.
so down, up, down, up.
Okay, you can do yeah.
Oh yes, this is much more like it. But now I need to be careful of that frickin'... Right, there we are.
Just make sure there's the previous mines are gone as well.
That's it. Let me just see what this does.
It opens a well.
Let's see where this one goes. Ah! Oh, rings don't kill them.
No, no, no.
So now I can just murder them with impunity. You're dying, mate.
But yeah, I also got the Oddworld of the Abyss DLC as well, which is so far been fantastic. It's fucking hard, but it's been fantastic.
Thank Christ for save points.
I believe this is it. This is the end of Elam.
Oh, bye bye, you annoying little sod.
I think that's the last. This is the last time we use them. As oh fuck, that's a slog nest. Amazing.
Just, hello, by the way, I've mined the area, so fuck you.
Hello. Oh.
Okay.
So immediately go to the right and duck.
Immediately go to the right. Or do that. That seems to work too.
No.
Oh shit.
No, you have to listen to the whole thing.
Okay, you can pass.
I think I might have said this before in a previous one, but how...
Hi there.
Oh.
Hello. Okay, you can test.
There we are. As I say, I think I exposited in an earlier episode about considering that they have flatulence as part of their passwords, it must... I didn't see those because the background is pretty much the same colour. Oh well, but at least now we know what to do. Chant the instant you get out of the hole. Which can advice for life, really.
I was going to say, it's a very Catholic way of looking at things.
I just did a spit take back into my beer.
Hey there, that's not it.
Every sperm is sacred.
Okay, you can go.
Of course, we here on the Roggor channel totally respect and understand everyone's particular weird ways of looking at the world.
Even if they're fucking ridiculous.
Hello.
But like I say, imagine if you are Mudokan and you've got some sort of arse problem, means you can't fart. You are absolutely screwed. So you have to do that twice.
Or just stand close enough to the thing
Is
to
it
get
the
the
entire
one.
screen? It's not the
It's
entire
not
screen.
the entire screen. It used to be. My
Again,
apologies.
like I said, because it was on a grid. So now it's probably got a defined area. Go back and grab another one, just in case. Or just hammer your head against a brick wall.
I wonder if that means that Shrakol now
Oh fuck. Run.
I was like, hang on a minute, maybe I needed to pull something.
Where are they? I mean, no, that Jim, there's several dozen teeth with legs following you.
I always loved how everything was designed in this. Like, everything just looks awful. Do you know what I mean? Like,
looks
nothing
wanky.
looks
Smooth or
pleasant. It all just looks angry and ugly and things like that.
Are they still coming?
Yeah, the slogs can't jump.
Ah. Oh, shit, that said something. Scravania, nesting grounds of the Scrabs, well no shit, and proving grounds of the ancient Mudokans. Brave Scravania's deadly traps and dodge savage Scrabs to discover your destiny in the heart of the temple.
Scravania is fucking balls.
Yeah, it's the Dark Souls of Oddworld. Oh.
I looked upon the temple where the Scrabs should still nest.
And this is where I give up and go home.
I'm sure in Abe's Exodus there was, like, in the opening cutscene, they're all off on this great adventure following Abe, and then just half of them, just halfway through, just fuck off and go home.
Yeah, no, that is exactly what happens.
And just be like, yeah, fuck this.
Well, he's leading them through the desert. He doesn't even have a stick. You know, if you're trying to lead people through the desert, you need a stick. But we're going to do a cliffhanger parody for a second. You know, the ever concurrent and relevant 80s films.
Surviving these
We here on the Roggor channel are
this would be my
sticklers
task.
for the past.
Because it legitimately was fucking better. Internet and smartphones, yes. Everything else, no.